brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
The winner of this game will move on to the semifinal round coming up on Friday. Jack Hughes with the bullet from just inside the line. The United States strikes first. Dahlin is shaken up off the post from Adrian Kempe. Puck comes out to Raymond. Extra skater on for Sweden. There's Raymond. Slides it across. Score! Sweden ties it with 1:31 remaining. Mika Zibanejad beating Connor Hellebuck. It is a 1-1 game, and we are headed for overtime. Quinn Hughes, we played 3.5 minutes in overtime. Quinn Hughes shoots, he scores! He scores! Quinn Hughes in overtime wins it, and the United States will move on and face Slovakia in the semis.
Glory Bedunga playing like an All-American, and right there playing with his head up finds Tiller for the flush. Tiller, how about that pass? Second assist for him tonight. Bedunga bangs it home. White tees it up. 2 straight for Trey White. It'll be the Jayhawks' 9th straight win against Oklahoma State.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I'm the host of this program. We've got Landon Winkler over in the corner running the video feed and the cameras. Today's show is presented by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities supporting student, community, and employee needs. Your sounds of the past 24 hours, 2 games I wanted to talk about that got played last night. Well, we've been talking about the Winter Olympics a good bit over the past couple of weeks or so. USA men's hockey in a nail-biter against Sweden comes down to the wire as both of these teams, United States grabs the lead in the second period, 1-0. They cannot score again in regulation, but Sweden, I believe with 3 minutes to go in the game, does tie the game up, makes it 1-1. Neither side able to get anything going for the rest of regulation. And they head to overtime. Sudden death overtime, 3-on-3. 2 players are taken off the ice. And 3-on-3, it's a little bit of a slower version of hockey. I saw a bunch of people saying, hey, I'm glad the United States won this, but we've got to do a better version of this. Either way, Jack Hughes from outside, able to get the winning goal in over the Swedish goalie. United States will play for an Olympic medal. Which medal, we don't know yet. Semifinal rounds will be played tomorrow for the U.S. men's hockey team. They will play Slovakia. I believe they've already beaten Slovakia this year. I'm not positive about that. I know I'm thinking of Latvia. They beat Latvia. And so Slovakia will play the United States for a chance at a gold medal. Loser heads to the bronze medal game. Your other sound of the past 24 hours that I want to get into, Kansas Jayhawks on the road last night, taking on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Oklahoma State is not very good. Kansas is very good. And even without Darren Peterson much in the second half, Kansas is able to pull away early, and they win the contest 81-69. A really good game for Darren Peterson in the first half. He scores 23 points in just 19 minutes. Only 3 minutes in the second half. Still very weird what's happening with Darren Peterson, but the fact is, when he's on the floor, man, Kansas looks real good. They are tough to beat as long as that dude is playing in the game. And I'm sure that Bill Self is going to get tired of having to pull him out of games. I'm sure that there's a lot going on as far as just how much of this is actually him cramping up, how much of this is him just wanting to save himself. Is he on a minutes restriction? There's going to be rumors and things like that. But I don't think anybody really knows the full story. I'm sure there's a little bit of all of it, a little bit of truth to whatever it is. And whatever the case may be, Kansas victorious, 81-69 over Oklahoma State. Other scores in double figures, Elmarco Jackson scored 14 off the bench, I believe he comes. Bryson Tiller with 10 as well. Flory Badunga with 8 points but 11 rebounds. 11 rebounds also for Tiller. Double-double for Bryson Tiller. He also had 7 assists, was flirting with a triple-double in this game. Couldn't quite get it done, but also 16 points for Trey White. Trey White, I know, hit a couple of threes. He's become a very good three-point shooter for the Kansas Jayhawks. KU goes 11 of 24 from 3 in this game. They make 14 of 16 free throws, 28 of 61 from the field. Yeah, this was an overmatched Oklahoma State team, and it looked like it from the jump. This was a team that Kansas was just clearly the better bunch, and they knew that going in, and felt like that they just kind of ran away with it early in this game and were able to keep Oklahoma State at arm's length for the remainder. So those are your sounds the past 24 hours. USA Hockey heading to the semifinal game. They'll play for at least one medal, hopefully playing for gold. We'll know more after this weekend. And Kansas on the road picks up another win in the Big 12, demolishing Oklahoma State 81-69. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend, also by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Lastly, brought to you in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the best in the country. It's our typical Thursday show today. We've got Kyle Cree, the head coach of Great Bend boys basketball. He'll join us in the second half over the phone, a bit of an abbreviated conversation. It is, what is it? Is it conference day? Yeah, I think conference day is what he called it, and it's what Great Bend High School is going through right now. There's no school today, or there's no school tomorrow, I know, for the students. But right now, the conference is taking place. So Coach Cree, with a very short amount of time, he's very generous to give us what he can, and we speak in the second half of the show. But first up, Nathan Brockelman, head coach of Barton Community College Wrestling, joins us on the show. Big weekend. Pardon me. Big weekend for Barton Wrestling. They had the South Central District Tournament. I think championship. No, it is a tournament. It is a tournament. And Barton with 5 wrestlers that got themselves through to nationals over in Iowa. So we'll let Coach Brockelman tell you all about that. On the other side of this break, you are listening to Sports Day from the Mayo Money Management Studio here on 1590 KVGB at 95.5 FM.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor. And don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Looking for a meaningful career where you can make a real difference? Barton Community College's adult healthcare program can get you there fast. Become a certified nurse aide or medication aide with Barton's state-approved training. Whether you're just beginning your education journey or advancing your career, Barton offers flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and hands-on training, giving you the knowledge, skills, and critical thinking necessary to thrive in today's world. Learn more at adulthealthcare.bartonccc.edu.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars! Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry now joined by Nathan Brockelman, head coach of Barton Community College Wrestling. Coach, let's get right into it. South Central District Championships down in Pratt over the weekend, and your team had a pretty good showing.
Yeah, we wrestled well. We had some, guys peak where they needed to peak, and, had some guys that didn't have a lot of success throughout the year, but they kept, buying into the system and trusting the process, and had some guys that just, were just shy of qualifying, and under different circumstances, the way we voted as coaches for like how to deal with wild cards and things like that, some of them might have got in if we would have voted a different way. So
you said earlier you had 3 that you definitely expected to get through, had up to 9 or 10 that could. You end with 5. Talk about those 5 guys and what they did during this tournament.
Yeah, so I'll start with our 125-pounder, Julian. He was fortunate to receive one of the wild cards that we just talked about. So he got kind of, I guess, lucky, which some of that a little bit was he had a shoulder injury that kind of sidelined him for a little while, so he's realistically just kind of getting back into it. 125 was probably one of the deeper weights as well, but he got a wild card for us. It's not like he necessarily wrestled bad. He got beat by the guys that took 4th and 5th, which is kind of what pleaded his case to be able to get a wild card because we didn't even get a wrestle 6, 7, or 8. And top 7 is what qualified at every weight except for 133. And then 133, Shane Todd, we knew his weight class was deep as well, which is why top 8 qualified in that one instead of top 7. And, he's able to take 7th. We actually were the 7th seed, so we, went right true to what our seed was. And that weight had the most wild cards actually going from it. I think we took 2 extra wild cards plus the top 8 in that weight class. So it was a pretty deep weight class. He wrestled well, just like he's been doing all season. 149, Brennan Fonesteel made it to the semifinals, and then ended up taking 6th, which still got him a qualification. And he even kind of said after the tournament, he's like, felt like I wrestled really well to the semifinals, but after I qualified, I just kind of felt like, a sense of relief, and I didn't really wrestle at my best the last 3 matches because I knew I was already qualified, especially after the semifinals match, because if you take the top 2, you can get seeded at the national tournament. Actually, top 3 technically. But he, unfortunately, we didn't realize top 3, actually. We thought that was a rule change for next year, but it was actually a rule change for this year. So that might have changed his mindset a little bit, but after he lost in the semifinals, it's kind of dumb in my opinion, but a lot of coaches, if they don't win in the semifinals, they just forfeit their guys out anyways because those matches don't really matter for anything. Chance of getting hurt, I guess you can say, especially if you're not in for a team title. But we make all our guys wrestle them. I think any mat time is good mat time, especially in those pressure situations. So, and then we had 174, Derek Truman had a really good tournament. Went 2-2, took 7th. Beat a kid from Knock that had beat us earlier in the year, and we lost in the blood round, the top 8 round, and was able to seal up our national qualifying bid by pinning the kid for 7th and 8th. So he was well. We knew he was kind of one of those was on the fence, just kind of depended on his draw and which Derek was going to show up to the mat that day. So. And then our finalist, Saran Hill at 184, he had a really good tournament, revenged a loss again against the Pratt kid, so we're now 2-2 with the Pratt kid. We lost 2 early to him, and then we beat him the last 2 times, and had a real tight match in the finals, lost 1-0. I kind of felt like maybe there should have been another stall call. We got a stall call early, like in the second period, and then nothing in the third period, and he didn't really do much on his feet. Saran did, but the other kid didn't, but apparently, we didn't do enough to warrant another stall call in the officials' eyes anyways. But ultimately, you can't really leave it in the officials' hands either. So Saran, I think, was more pushing to try to get a stall call than to truly get a takedown is kind of what it looked like. But if we see him again, there's no doubt in my mind that we can't compete and beat him. So.
Fair enough. So those 5 guys headed through to nationals, and I want to highlight Saran Hill because he set a program record over the weekend, right?
Yeah, he did. He had his 7th major decision on the weekend, which is a program record. I think he's set 2 program records so far this year, along with Brennan Pond still setting a program record pretty early. So we've had 3 program records fall as far as individuals go. I haven't really looked at too many of like the team stats, but I imagine, if you get some program records falling with especially takedowns and reversals, I would imagine as an overall team, we're probably pretty up there as well.
You mentioned wild cards during that stretch. Got one guy going as a wild card. What is the voting process like for that?
It's kind of a joke, honestly. A lot of coaches just try to it's kind of a buddy-buddy system, I guess you can say. A lot of coaches look at how many teams put in for a wild card and just try to get every team that put in a wild card an extra person to nationals, which is understandable, but sometimes that's not really the best thing that you should do. Like we took 9 wild cards. There was 11 guys on the board, and one of our guys did not get a wild card, but he was the only person on the board that actually won a match during the day. And so a lot of people just try to play it off, and I did the same thing with Julian. He kind of had a bad day, he was banged up from an injury, blah blah blah. Tried to almost make an excuse for him. Pretty much every single one of those coaches said the exact same thing. Well, you went 0-2 today, but he's beat everyone else in the bracket at some point this season, blah blah blah. So when our one wrestler. I said, well, my wrestler's the only one that won any matches today. And he went 2-3 and took 8th. I know he hasn't had the greatest season, but he's peaking at the right time. So usually here we are talking about all these guys that had bad days. Why aren't we going to award a guy that had a good day? And apparently they didn't like that, so he didn't get voted in. So, but a lot of it's buddy-buddy. A lot of it's just trying to get an extra kid in for each team just to try to help coaches out and help keep them positive. But there's a lot of good kids that were on the board that were in some deeper brackets too. Don't get me wrong, but there's some kids that were on the board that probably shouldn't. That our kid that went 2 and 3 peaked at the right time probably should deserve to go a little bit more. But unfortunately, the coaches didn't pick him that way. So,
all right, fair enough. So tell us about Nationals. Where is that, and what's the schedule for it?
Yeah, so Nationals is in Council Bluffs, Iowa. It's the 5th and 6th of March. That first Friday, Saturday, maybe 6th and 7th. I think it's the 6th and 7th because we'll leave on the 4th Wednesday. We'll leave Wednesday the 4th after practice. Practice up there Thursday. I have a coaches meeting Thursday evening, and then if you wrestle, if you make it to Saturday from Friday's event, that means you're an All-American. If you don't, then obviously you're done for the year. So hopefully we get a few guys that punch their ticket into Saturday. The first year we had took one kid. First year at Barton, we took one kid, went 0-2. Kind of at least got to experience a little bit. Last year, there's actually 2 sessions on Friday. Last year we had 2 of our guys make it to the second session, but you still had to win 2 matches in that second session to go on, and they both lost in that first round. So hopefully this year, we take another step further and make it all the way to Saturday.
So tell us, you've only got 5 guys left that are currently participating in wrestling. What does practice look like for those guys over the next 2 weeks? And and how do you help them individually get to, like you said, try and get to Saturday?
So we'll do a little bit more individual work. Kind of still do some more daily stuff, but before we do any situational things or live or conditioning, we bring in extra guys to help work them out a little bit, just to give them a little bit different look too. And we will look at some film and break down just stuff throughout the year, and it can be a little bit more individual now. And try to work on some things that they're struggling with, so that hopefully we can get that a little bit better here in the next couple weeks.
And the something that I noticed a couple of days ago, signing classes started over on the women's side, right?
Yeah, it started since November 1st for us.
Okay. Yeah, so tell us about some of the girls that have been coming into the program.
Yeah, we had 16 girls coming already. Pretty much all Kansas, one out of state. A lot of top 5 all-class ranked girls that are going to be coming next year. Got some girls that are on the verge of committing. Hopefully they'll commit shortly after state, just for ease of mind, obviously. We don't honestly have very many scholarships left on our women's side, but not everyone. I mean, we have some girls that are already choosing to walk on with us too, because we didn't have scholarships for their way. So it's exciting. We got a lot of tough girls coming in. We're hoping to be able to just start the year off well and strong, and who knows, maybe be a top 5 team next year in the women's side.
Coach, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
That's head coach Nathan Brockelman of Barton Community College Wrestling joining us here on Sports Day. Yeah, so big thanks to Coach Brockelman. The like you said, 5 guys going. The wild card voting apparently a little bit weird between all the coaches in the conference. They do elect to send in Julian Oratania at 125. He finished 0-2 at the district championships, but like he said, wrestled, I think, the guys who came in 4th and 5th in the districts, and at different points in the season, wrestled and beat some guys that did finish ahead of him in the bracket that are going. So they do elect to send him on. Also, Derek Truman, Shane Todd, Brennan Fonensteel, and Saran Hill going. So 5 guys headed to nationals for Barton Wrestling. The wild card voting thing that he talked about was kind of funny to me. It's just like, there's not really a process. There's not a whole lot of tiebreakers. It's just those coaches sit in a room and they vote on who to send through. And you know what? If nothing else, I guess at least it's an open ballot. Folks know thoughts on things, and maybe you can set some precedent there, or maybe you just ignore precedent completely and hear individual arguments. And I don't know. That would be an interesting place to be a fly on the wall, I think. So they're headed off to nationals. Great Bend High School wrestling on the boys' side. We talked to that club on Wednesday's show yesterday. Big thanks to Rex Kern, by the way, for coming in. They will be facing off in the 5A Western Regionals tomorrow in Hayes, and 3 folks in the top 5 in their respective rate classes for Great Bend. Hopefully they can send a couple of guys through. We'll have them back in sometime next week to talk about that a little bit. Also, on the girls' side, Great Bend with some wrestlers going through, and we'll talk to that club tomorrow. That'll be the first half of tomorrow's show as the Great Bend girls wrestling program comes in. I know that Camden Post won 5A regionals on the western side. Great Bend has 7 girls headed to. Gosh, pardon me. I'm so sorry. Great Bend has 7 girls of the 10 weight classes that will be going to state. So a big time accomplishment for those girls. And Coach Jeremy Foster and some of those girls will be in tomorrow. Camden Post, I believe now the top ranked 110 pounder in 5A. And she will be at the very least expected to make it through to the championship match. I went over this with Garrett Fitzpatrick on Monday. Her first 2 matches at the region championships, she pinned her opponent in like 2 seconds, not 2 seconds, but her first 2 opponents is what I mean, in the first 45 seconds or so of the match. To the championship match, the girl got into the second round with her, but got pinned pretty early in the second round. So Camden Post is an absolute monster, and she will be very, very good for Great Bend, and hopefully has a chance to win a state title on Saturday. But we will talk to that team tomorrow. on tomorrow's show, and I'm very, very excited about hearing from them and hearing all that they're going to get up to. And I think that this Great Bend team has a chance to make a whole lot of noise, and we'll, of course, go over the details with that with head coach Jeremy Foster on tomorrow's program. But Barton with 5 going to nationals in the South Central District Championships. Saran Hill, the headliner. Like we said, Saran Hill setting a couple of program records over the year, including most major decisions with 7. That means I believe the major decision point total is 15. I believe you have to beat somebody by 15 points. Of course, takedowns, reversals, near fall points. There's so many different ways to rack up points in wrestling. Saran Hill, kind of a takedown artist, apparently, when I talked to Coach Brockelman about it. And Saran Hill finishes with 7 major decisions on the year. Still got nationals to go. Would be very cool if he could pick up a win or 2 at nationals and try and make it through to Saturday. And you can kind of see the advancement of what Barton Wrestling has done since Coach Brockelman took over. Like he said, first year they had one guy go. He goes 0-2, but it was nice to go, nice for him to get some experience, nice for those kids nice for that kid to get some experience and to move along. Next year they take some more guys, and now they've got 5 going, and including a couple of guys who will have a national seed. Well, one guy who will have a national seed, and it's Barton Wrestling continuing to grow. And then on the women's side, already 16 girls that they have committed. That's a big number, and hopefully going to have some more coming in. I talked to him afterwards about the men's side. They only have 1 guy committed there right now, but that program is 1, a little more built up. 2, the men usually take a little bit longer to decide where they want to go, so hopefully that number will grow as they get into the offseason and recruiting continues. But Barton Wrestling on the upswing has been since Coach Brockelman took over, and wrestling for Great Bend High School, also doing some great things. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also brought to you by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. Well, wrestling not the only winter sport in action. We know we have Coach Kyle Cree on every Thursday. Had him over the phone to talk about Great Bend's big win over Garden City, the rescheduling of the Dodge City, or the rescheduling of the Liberal game, and the upcoming road trip to Dodge City. And luckily, Great Bend was going to have a Monday or a Tuesday off this upcoming week. They've simply flipped the off week and that game against Liberal. And so Great Bend playing their final road game of the year in the regular season coming up tomorrow as they head over to Dodge City, and will hopefully pick up another big-time win, as, again, their goal is go undefeated the rest of the way and pick up at least a share of the WAC title. And Coach Cree and I talk about that on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
This year, Eagle Media Community Calendar tickets currently on sale for the Barton Community College Theater Department's annual spring musical, SpongeBob SquarePants, based on the popular Nickelodeon cartoon series. The musical will involve the talents of personnel from Barton and Great Bend High School. There will be 3 performances at 7:30 p.m. on March 5th, 6th, and 7th, and a 2 p.m. matinee on March 8th in the Barton Fine Arts Auditorium. General admission tickets, $15, and can be purchased at the door up to an hour before the show. You can also get tickets online at shows.bartonccc.edu or by calling Denise at 620-792-9284. Severe weather season approaching, and meteorologists from the National Weather Service in Wichita will be hosting an informational meeting to help prepare storm spotters for the upcoming storm season. The meeting will be held at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, March 4th at the Crest Theater in Great Bend. The free presentation will provide information on the different types of storms, ways to recognize each storm's potential severity, and how to report information to the Weather Service and to local authorities. For more information, visit nws.wichita@noaa.gov. Support the American Heart Association by raising awareness and funds during the 5th Annual Heart Walk, sponsored by the Heart of Kansas Family Healthcare, from 9 a.m. until noon Saturday, February 28th at the Great Bend Activity Center. Healthcare providers will offer blood pressure checks and share information on health-related topics. Walkers can make a monetary donation, buy raffle tickets, or just walk for a healthier, happier life. Join the Heart Walk team or create your own by calling 620-792-5700. And area girls in grades K through 5 and their caregivers invited to attend a free informational meeting about Girl Scout membership at 4:30 p.m. Tuesday, March 3rd at First United Methodist Church on Forest Avenue in Great Bend. That's the update. I'm Steve Webster. Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
NBA Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's a Western Conference showdown in San Francisco.
Pitch to Jokic straight away for 3. Okay, then. Jokic have a start.
Nikola Jokic leads the Denver Nuggets against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors.
Curry, quick trigger 3. Good! All net.
The Nuggets at the Warriors.
Sunday afternoon NBA basketball coverage at 2 on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined over the phone by Kyle Creed, the head coach of Great Bend boys basketball. Coach, a big-time win for your squad over Garden City last week. Let's talk a little bit about that. As you know, you get into the second half of WAC play, and you obviously have the lofty goals that you've set for your squad, and you get off to a good start in the second half.
Yeah, I thought our guys were definitely locked in. It seems like defensively we're starting to come together and kind of sticking to the game plan and kind of understanding what the other teams are trying to do with their offense. And, you know, I couldn't be more proud of our guys as far as defense. And we're starting to get out and run a little bit in transition. kind of like we did in the years past and towards the beginning of the year.
And so when you look at talk about your defense a little more, kind of give the specifics on it, because like you said, the point totals continue to fall. I remember watching that Dodge City game, and that was obviously a very impressive performance on both sides of the court. And then you hold Garden City, a good Garden City team, to just 56 points. And this is a very impressive performance defensively. What goes into the X's and O's of that?
I mean, I think it really comes down to just just our scouting reports and when we watch clips, and maybe the guys have a little bit more respect and kind of understand kind of what our opponents want to do and what their strengths are, and trying to take some of those away. So when you think about Garden City, I mean, they got some guys that not only at the varsity level, but all three levels, they can shoot the ball pretty well. So I think we're doing a better job with our defense on the perimeter as far as challenging shots and trying to keep the ball in front of us and not getting broke down, so we're not in, scramble mode or having to help from the backside.
You're making the return trip to Dodge City tomorrow night. Tell us, are you going to try and replicate the same kind of game plan that you had the first time against Dodge City, or will there be some curveballs thrown in here?
Well, there's always a chance for curveballs. I mean, if you're a pitcher, you got to have some off-speed pitches, and you just throw fastballs the whole game, you're probably going to start giving up home runs. So there's definitely some things that we might try to do differently. The Shet kid, we got to make sure we guard him because he's pretty aggressive, and it doesn't seem like there's a shot that he doesn't like. We got to make sure that when he drives, we don't kind of fall for some of his flopping and some of his opportunities to get to the free throw line. But yeah, I mean, Sheck, number 0, can shoot it lights out. Their point guard he's young, but he's fundamentally sound, and they got some big guys on the inside that we're going to have to box out. So another team that we got a great deal of respect for, and our guys have been playing them in basketball and all these other sports probably since 2nd or 3rd grade. So we know what they're going to do, and we got to make sure that we stick together and go in there with some energy, because that road trip to Dodge and all the WAC schools is kind of tough to get the guys excited because we're not playing at home.
And this is your last road trip for the year, or at least in the regular season. You finish out with 2 against Liberal and Hayes, rescheduling that Liberal game. How much did that, I guess, maybe throw off your scheduling, and how did you adjust to going from having a game to not having a game, I guess?
I mean, really, it's conference week at the high school, so I gave our kids maybe a chance to kind of rest their bodies a little bit, which I think is just as valuable as getting in there and talking about X's and O's and defense and transition and all those things. So we gave our guys a little bit of a break. And then as far as scheduling, I mean, that's kind of up to the athletic directors. Yeah, we just kind of let them handle, and I just listen to Westerhouse and do what he wants to do. I mean, I think it kind of stinks that our C team and freshman guys and JV don't get a game, but that's just kind of the way it goes.
And so, Coach, as we wind down towards the end of the season here, what is the health of your team looking like right now?
I mean, I think everybody, for the most part, is healthy. I mean, outside of Ian, obviously. Gavin Wandra, he's got a little bit of soreness in his back, but he's been going and seeing Kevin Supisi, who does an awesome job. And it seemed like Gavin was a little more flexible and loose yesterday. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, our guys are healthy. I mean, I can't think of anybody right now that's got anything that's going to have a miss a game. I know Garden, just watching them play Dodge this week, and they had a couple guys out last week, so that hurts to have guys out. And thankfully, all of our guys right now are healthy.
Well, Coach, we'll let you go here. I know you're busy, like you said, conference week, but thanks for the time, and good luck good luck tomorrow.
Yep, thanks to you as well. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Absolutely. That is head coach Kyle Cree of Great Bend Boys Basketball joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Coach Cree. Yeah, like I said, he usually can get about 10 minutes out of Coach, and especially if he has a big game or a big win that just happened. He unfortunately a little bit busy today, but that's okay. We muddle through and we make things happen here on this program. Yeah, big matchup for Great Bend High School upcoming. They want to keep things rolling. They feel like they can, and let me pull up the schedule here just because I don't feel 100% confident. Just completely going off of memory. Yeah, they're headed to Dodge City tomorrow. Rescheduling that Liberal game. Dodge City, I called this game earlier this year, back on February 10th so a little more than a week ago. I was on the call of it that Tuesday night, and Great Bend, probably played their best game of the year. Honestly, is kind of what the feeling that I got when talking to Coach Cree, that 91-66 win. Now Great Bend has to make that return trip, and Dodge City, not too bad of a drive. I've been to Dodge with Barton basketball, but Dodge is still a team that has not had a fantastic year. Let's look at what Dodge has done. Yeah, they're 10-10. They've won one game in WAC play that was over Liberal, but it was a close game, and Barton I'm sure gonna try and get to the rim again. This is a Barton team with some good athletes, some good finishers, and I'm sure that they will do their best to get to the rim and again scored 50-something points in the paint against this Dodge City team in that game in the Fieldhouse earlier this month. And career high that night for Alec Premer. It took him all of one game to surpass that career high, but just a great game played by Great Bend against Dodge City. And with any luck, they can replicate that result coming up tomorrow. And then, of course, you've got the final two home games, hosting Liberal, and then you get the return trip from Hayes. And, ooh, boy. What if Great Bend is still in second place at that time? If they beat Dodge and Liberal in the second time like they did the first time, sets up a matchup with Hayes, especially if Great Bend gets lucky and Hayes drops one of their next couple of games. Certainly they're not expected to, but either way, you can at least finish with a tie in first place with splitting with Hayes and beating the other teams in the WAC, and certainly that is Great Bend's goal as far as whether or not they can control their own destiny. And what's coming up for the remainder of the season for the Great Bend Panthers. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Equity Bank. There when you need them, bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and in Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. All right, we'll take our final break of the show. On the other side, I was in, I'm being told, El Dorado, Kansas. I was told I thought it was pronounced El Dorado. That's how it's spelled. I then got a text that I interpreted as calling it El Dorado. So that's what I called it for the remainder of the broadcast. As I've gotten in today, I find out it is pronounced El Dorado. I'm learning. Anyway, I was in that town last night for Barton against Butler Community College. Tough loss for the women as they fall by 20 to, again, Butler, a team with a national title aspirations. They are the number 2 team in the country. And the men, though, with a massive win, they are now just a half game behind Butler, who again, they have now swept for the season for first place in the Jayhawk Conference. And so a game that Barton badly needed on the men's side, and they got it. They went in there and got it last night. We'll tell you about those games on the other side. You were listening to Barton, or what? Pardon me. I'm tired, folks. I didn't get enough sleep last night. You're listening to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
All here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Barton Community College, in partnership with Golden Key Group, proudly offers the nation's first associate degree in federal human resources. This online program prepares anyone for remote federal HR careers across the government. Service members and military spouses can use MyCAA or GI Bill benefits to take the next step toward a flexible, rewarding career from wherever you are. Learn more at federalhr.bartonccc.edu.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Welcome back. About 10 minutes left in the show here today. Brant Daughtry here with you. Landon Winkler's over in the corner running the video feed and the cameras. Landon is also your studio host and engineer for any game that's live that you hear on our broadcast here. That's the high school stuff. That's the Barton stuff, whether it's Great Bend, Hoisington, Larned, or Barton. If it's on the air, Landon is in these studios, often running between three of them at the time and making sure that things are going like they're supposed to go. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports. Excuse me. I had to sneeze. Thank you, Landon. Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. The show is also brought to you in part by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize the health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. All right, so was on the road last night to somewhere near Wichita, whatever the town is called, and Butler Community College was there. That's where they play basketball. And it's also where the rest of their campus is. And Butler's women, 25-1 on the season, 19-1 in the Jayhawk Conference, ranked second in the country. Their lone loss was to Garden City, who was also at one time in the top 10, I believe. They've fallen off quite a bit. But Butler, their one loss, like I said, to Garden City. They avenged that loss by 40 the second time those two teams played. So it's safe to say Butler, by far the best team in the Jayhawk Conference on the women's side. Barton falls after this loss to 12-15, 10-11 in the Jayhawk. Barton still at 8th place in the conference. They would still host a first-round game. They're trying to climb up. They've got some opportunity. And looking at what Barton's schedule is on the women's side, their next game is against Independence. Independence is one of the teams that's at the bottom of the conference. Barton should win that one. Then they've got Seward at home. Then they're at Cowley. Lost both of those the first time through. But that Cowley game was pretty close throughout, and Barton just kind of ran out of steam. That Seward game, I think, is a team that Barton can beat, but it's going to take some doing. So looking at that, should beat Indy, can beat Seward, probably should beat Cowley, but it'll probably be a close game. So the women with some opportunity down the stretch, but this Butler team, I'm telling you, incredible. from top to bottom. Their defense, man, they're really good on both sides of the ball. Barton's calling card, especially in the second half of Jayhawk conference play, has been their defense. Butler averages 77 points. Barton held him to 64. That's good. Unfortunately, Butler's defense is also really good. They're giving up an average of 50 points a game. Barton only can score 44. Looking at Barton's shooting in this game, I'm pretty sure this is a season low as far as field goal percentage. They go 15 of 59 from the floor, 25%. That's just not going to get it done. That's certainly not going to get it done for Barton. And their offense has had moments where it's struggled. They've had moments where they've been really good offensively too, but it's kind of a game-by-game thing. Anyway, I spoke with head coach Alan Clark after the game, and he pretty much just kind of said, yeah, you know, we played okay. We didn't play nearly good enough to beat a team like this. I think this is, in his words, like, Barton is a good enough team to get this win, but they have to play as close to perfect as possible. And obviously, Barton did not do that. The offense just wouldn't go. And again, credit to Butler. They're the number 2 team in the country for a reason. They made it very difficult for Barton to score. Bright spots in this game, I thought that the rebounding for Barton was pretty good. They did get out-rebounded, but again, everything with the grain of salt as far as, man, this is Butler, and Butler has a chance at winning a national title this year. A bright spot, Mercedes Spray has struggled shooting this year. If everybody who's a Great Bend High School fan should remember Mercedes Spray for what she did at Great Bend over the past couple of years. She leaves. She goes to, I think she was at Kansas Wesleyan for a year and transferred to Barton, where she's now in the midst of her redshirt freshman year. And her three-point jumper has just not been there for most of the year, but she has now hit 3 of her last 6 three-point attempts going back to that Garden City game. She goes 2 of 3 in this game. If her jumper can get going, I think it opens up so much for her. But unfortunately, Barton falls in this game 64-44. And the men got some revenge, though. Barton comes in at number 20 in the country, Butler at 16. This is 1 versus 2 in the Jayhawk. Barton at 2, Butler at 1. And Barton gets it done. I'm telling you, this team is hot right now. They have won 7 in a row now, 8 of their last 9. They have climbed from somewhere kind of in the middle of the table. They had a losing record going into Christmas break. They climbed to around the middle of the table. We're still kind of sputtering. And then over this latest stretch, I mean, goodness, they now have the tiebreaker over Butler, who is in first still by a half a game, and Dodge, who is in third. Barton swept both of those teams. They sit in second and really have an opportunity to make something happen down the stretch here. Butler, I don't know what the rest of their schedule is, but, I mean, 3 games left. If Barton wins all 3, you certainly give yourself a very good chance to win the conference. And what I want to do now is I want to hear from Coach Clark, or from Coach Combs, about his thoughts on the matchup. Here it is, my post-game conversation with head coach of the Barton Cougars, Jeremy Combs. Joined now by the head coach of the Barton Cougars, head coach Jeremy Combs. Coach, you and I talked about it in the pregame. This is the kind of game that your team has to win if they want to win the league. They came out here and they got the job done.
Yeah, we're pretty motivated right now, but I tell you, that's a good team. The way they play is, difficult to deal with, but I thought our guys handled it really, really well.
And Coach, free throw shooting, I mean, not quite as many as last time out, but still pretty good at the stripe tonight, 38 of 48, and another double-double for Sebastian Muckett, 17 points, 13 rebounds.
Yeah, that team's going to foul you. That's just kind of, again, that's how they play. So we wanted to be in attack mode, and so, the first time we shot a ton of them. But this time, kind of the same thing. We shot a few more threes, I think, but ultimately I thought the guys, like I said, followed the game plan, attacked the basket, and then knocked them down.
Blake Rucker tonight, 4 of 6 from behind the arc, career high 20 points. We've been talking about how he's kind of come into his own, kind of figuring out what his role is, and he's embraced it over the last couple of games, and it came to a head tonight.
Yeah, really coming around. Very capable player. We really believe in him. This is that kind of that freshman deal where you kind of start really coming out of your shell, and he's doing a great job.
Coach, something that I noticed was your team had given up 10 offensive rebounds in the first half. You come out, you only give up 6 in the second half. Obviously, that was a focus. What did you change other than effort on the offensive boards?
We had a heart-to-heart at halftime, and I challenged them, and they stepped up to the plate. I thought they crashed harder in the second half, but I thought we were actually getting a body on somebody and being physical right back.
Coach, congrats on the win. We'll see you back there. We'll see you back in the friendly confines on Saturday.
Sounds good. Thanks, bud.
That's head coach Jeremy Combs. He joined me after that big-time win for Barton. Yeah, Sebastian Mukic with a double-double, 17 points, 13 rebounds. Blake Rucker off the bench, just dynamite in this game. Goes 4 of 6 from behind the arc, 5 of 8 from the field, perfect at the free throw line, 6 of 6. He scores a career-high 20 points. He's having a really, really good stretch right now, and if Barton can continue to get his three-point shot going, that's really good news. Also coming off the bench, Jaden Ramirez. He didn't make a field goal in this game, but he still scored 8 because, again, this is a Butler team that fouls a lot. And Jaden makes 8 of 8 at the foul stripe. A quiet night for Aris Rodriguez, again, coming off that 39-point performance at Garden City. Aris doesn't shoot it quite as well in this game. He goes 1 of 3 from behind the arc, which he only made 1 3 against Garden as well, but didn't have quite as easy a time getting to the rim in this game, and because of that, he finishes with 14 points on 14 shots. So not a great night for Aris Rodriguez, but folks around him step up. Your leading scorer in the game was Noah Williams, and Noah's a guy that we talked a lot about, the Bradley commit, redshirt freshman out of California. He goes 7 of 13, scores 21 points, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, made a 3 in this game as well, finished 1 rebound shy of a double-double. So Barton, again, this team is just hot right now. They're finding ways to win games, whether it's playing the wide-open style of Garden and Butler or where they want to slow it down, kind of the same way that Cowley does. This is just a really fun team to watch right now. And coming into the home stretch, they've got the tiebreaker over Butler, and they're half a game behind. So that's going to do it for today's show. Big thanks to Nathan Brockelman and Kyle Cree of Barton Wrestling and Great Bend Boys Basketball specifically, or respectively, pardon me. Thanks to Landon Winkler running the video feed and the cameras. Big thanks to you for watching and listening. I'm Brant Daughtry. We'll do it all again tomorrow, same time, same place, 12:30, Sports Day right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.